With the abundant mineral resources in Nigeria, the mining sector remains one of the most viable platforms for diversifying the nation's economy and mitigating its overdependence on oil, which has caused severe financial instability. In 2005, the federal government launched a comprehensive reform to revitalize the mining sector with the assistance of the World Bank-funded Sustainable Management of Mineral Resources Project (SMMRP), based in the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development. The project, which was completed on May 30, 2012, made significant contributions to the transformation of the mining sector by initiating major reforms in governance, geological data generation, mining cadastre management, and support for artisanal and small-scale miners.
There is no state in this country that has not got one type of mineral or the other. Be it gemstones, be it solid minerals, be it critical metals, we have them all. So why should Nigeria be talking of poverty?
Following the success of this first intervention project, the federal government requested further assistance from development partners, the Australian Agency for International Development (AusAid), and the Canadian International Development Agency (CIDA), who, in collaboration with the World Bank, designed and executed a 2-year externally funded output EFO program for the country. The program was designed to align with the government's key priorities. The critical inputs provided by the program supported the adoption of a roadmap for developing the country's mining sector. This eventually led to the launch of the Mineral Sector Support for Economic Diversification MinDiver Project in 2017 as the second World Bank intervention in the mining sector.
The Ministry of Solid Minerals Development, in line with the mandate establishing it, shall continue to provide requisite infrastructure and the necessary collaborations with the relevant ministries, departments, and agencies to ensure that the mining investment thrives.
And the roadmap was very useful for verifying and also supplement a better understanding of the key barriers affecting the sector in Nigeria. This, I must say that this was one of the main uses of the roadmap. And also we undertook also, or it was useful for us to undertake extensive consultations with Nigerian government officials, NGOs, a large number of stakeholders, so that we managed to get them aligned to the roadmap, and this was a key element to help help us, of course, in the process of designing the main components of the MinDiver project.
The key objective of the MinDiver project was to link with the roadmap and enhance the mining sector's contribution to the economy by strengthening key government institutions, improving information infrastructure and knowledge, and fostering domestic investment in the sector.
The Nigeria Mining Roadmap was created to address the challenges inhibiting the development of the Nigerian mining sector. It emphasized the necessity to enhance geological data acquisition and management, address the infrastructural issues for essential mining institutions, improve institutional governance for efficient rule enforcement, and prioritize workforce development, among other critical requirements.
I've been involved in evaluation of those submissions, and I've been involved in the evaluation of the results of the activities, which are now all coming together, in particular through the mineral investment facilitation exercises and roadshows, which are showcasing Nigeria's potential as a mineral producer.
The project, which ends in May 2024, has radically improved access to geoscience data for mining investments in Nigeria. It has fostered investments by enhancing linkages between the mining sector and the broader economy, resulting in greater downstream value addition and improved livelihoods. The project invested in innovative technology infrastructure and strengthened critical institutions to optimize policy development, investment drive, sector regulation, and revenue management, while improving federal-state collaboration in the mining sector.
The mining sector fell asleep when the oil sector was discovered, but in recent years, the mining sector was seen as a sector that could help bring new economies and new employment opportunities for those states within Nigeria that were not able to benefit from oil.
Airborne Geophysical Survey. In accordance with the country's priorities as outlined in the Roadmap for Mining Sector Development, the project focused primarily on acquiring, storing, and disseminating geoscience data. To achieve this goal, the MinDiver Project is conducting a comprehensive airborne geophysical survey using geomagnetic and radiometric techniques. The survey covers 19 states in Nigeria, including the Federal Capital Territory, with a total area of 1.5 million line kilometers. The states being covered are Kwara, Ekiti, Ondo, Osun, Oyo, Ogun, Ebonyi, and Enugu. Others are Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Kaduna, Niger, Kogi, Taraba, Benue, Plateau, Nasarawa, and Bauchi states.
The difference between the current airborne data set we are generating and the previous one that we did some few years back is that this is what we call high resolution, that is low altitude. And the simple logic is this, that the previous one is at higher altitude, while what we have now is at lower altitude. And what that means is that low altitude, you'll be able to see more things than you have at the higher altitude.
The National Geological Survey Agency have been the recipients of data which has been acquired through an airborne geophysical survey, covering 1.6 million kilometers, line kilometers. It's magnetic and radiometric information which gives information about the surface geology, which will be very useful in determining mineral occurrences and perhaps identifying further projects for development. That information will be held within the Geodata Center and will be made available for public view.
Airborne geophysical data is a critical component of the national geological infrastructure, providing objective information on the spatial distribution of geological formations and tectonics. The survey is being conducted using aircraft equipped with specialized sensors to collect data on the Earth's surface and subsurface geology, following the best global standards.
The structure of the mining sector is such that what a country can do is to provide a conducive environment for the private sector to invest in. And therefore, the emphasis was to answer the very important question of what do the mining investors want? What attracts them in coming into a country, any country? And number one was an improvement on the geology to answer the question, does Nigeria really have minerals that will attract investors? So we emphasize on producing enough data that will attract investors. And when this data is produced, how do we store them? How do we make them accessible to investors? The third issue is, if the investors start coming How do we organize the investors such that there will be no conflict, both amongst the communities and amongst the investors themselves?
The primary objectives of the Airborne Geophysical Survey were to gather detailed information of the geological composition and structure of the surveyed areas, identify potential mineral resources and deposits beneath the Earth's surface, aid in the exploration and mapping of mineral resources for the mining sector, and assess the environmental impact and risks associated with mining activities in the surveyed regions. The extensive data from this project would help make informed decisions in the mining sector. The data would attract domestic and foreign investors and promote sustainable mining practices in Nigeria. The information collected from the Airborne Geophysical Survey would also help develop policies and strategies for responsible mining while minimizing environmental impact.
That having acquired those information, which is at about maybe 95 or 98% completed now with interpretation, the issue is this, that we have also been able to train our staff on interpretation and usage of this data set. And don't forget, the selection of area that the coverage area for this round of airborne survey, high resolution airborne survey, is what we call the proof of concept area. The areas were carefully selected from the previous airborne and also some geochemical data sets that we have on the ground. And with the level of completion and also the interpretation, more new things are coming in. And we believe that at the end of the project, there are some consultants that have been engaged, big consultants. They are looking at the data set in conjunction with the follow-up geochemical we have done, high-density geochemical sampling we have done for those areas. It will be interesting and novel in the country because at the same time you are doing airborne survey and high-density geochemical sampling around the same area, all through the provision of by MinDiver Project. What this means is that we are trying to generate investable information.
Ground Geophysical Survey. MinDiver intervention at the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency also focused on improving ground geophysical surveys through the acquisition of critical state-of-the-art equipment. Some of these devices include sets of geological compass, differential global positioning systems, magnetometers, walking gradiometers, and handheld XRF analyzers. These devices help geologists collect accurate data about the Earth's crust and subsurface. They measure orientation, location, magnetic field, gravity field, and chemical composition of rocks and minerals. Together, they help create detailed maps of the Earth's geology and locate valuable mineral deposits. Geochemical mapping. The MinDiver Project also conducted high-density geochemical mapping in target areas to complement the Airborne Geophysical Survey. The geochemical sampling was carried out using various media such as stream sediments, soil, and rocks. Over 10,800 samples were collected from pits, cliffs, and roads, while stream sediments and rock samples were also obtained to analyze primary, trace, and rare elements. The activities covered 4 Global Reference Network (GRN) cells, which consists of 120 quarter-degree sheets. The selected areas for the high-density geochemical mapping are the proof of concept targets identified through the High-Resolution Airborne Geophysical Survey and the National Integrated Mineral Exploration Project (NIMEP) sites that show high geochemical anomalies from previous low-density mapping efforts. The selected areas are spread across 13 states in the country. Geochemical mapping has been a handy tool in defining metallogenic provinces in several countries worldwide. The data sets generated from the mapping activities are integrated with high-resolution airborne geophysical survey data to provide comprehensive geoscience information for investment promotion in the mining sector.
And with the airborne data, with the NIMEP data, with the geological data we have, that is geological mapping and geochemical mapping. One, the chemical characteristics will come from the geochemical mapping. That is, you pick samples from the stream sediment and also from rock sample and soil sample. And it will tell you the constituents, which can allow you to trace back or trace forward the sources of those anomalies that you are having in the soil. Now, the geophysics will tell you if these are structurally controlled. And in the geophysics, you have several parameters. You have the radiometric and the magnetic. That is going into the details. So what I'm trying to say is this, that all these information data sets will provide you a better leverage because, one, they are of higher resolution. In those days when we did the geochemical, we are picking maybe one sample in 75 square kilometers. Now, for higher resolution, we are picking one sample in 1 square kilometer. So you see, we can at least narrow it down to specific area, and that is what the investors are interested in.
Topographic maps. The MinDiver Project has facilitated the upgrade of the existing topographic maps from the Nigerian Ordnance Survey to advanced international standards using the Multinational Geospatial Co-Production MGCP. The MGCP is characterized by a high level of detail, de-risked by high-resolution satellite imagery that defines relief, mountains, valleys, etc., hydrography, land use, transportation, structures, and boundaries. These activities, conducted across various regions in Nigeria under the project, have facilitated geodata acquisition and streamlined land exploration for mineral resources. A key outcome of the topographic mapping activities was the production of 340 detailed topographical maps covering the entire country. These maps provide essential information for mining companies and stakeholders, enabling them to identify potential mining sites, plan access routes, and assess environmental considerations.
We are able to have a airborne survey which covers about 1,580,000 line kilometers through the so-called proof of concept areas. We'll be able to also cover the proof of concept area with geochemical mapping, and those are very strategic areas that you could have, good geosciences data. And also we'll be able to cover the area of topographic study, which covers a lot of the country. So far, so good. Topographic survey have been found to be one of the best in the world, and it's very useful. And we believe that in the area of geosciences, we're able to cover very well.
Integrating topographic mapping data with other geoscientific information has created a robust national geospatial database. This database supports informed decision-making and responsible resource management and enhances mineral exploration efficiency in Nigeria.
Having over about 290,000 square kilometer area, which is equivalent to about 340 1 in 50,000 topographic line maps. So that kind of data is very important and critical to the mining sector because it has a lot of advantages and usage.
National Geodata Center. The project established a national electronic geodata center equipped with state-of-the-art hardware and software resources of the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency in Abuja, with 2 substations at the National Steel Raw Material Exploration Agency and the National Geoscience Research Laboratories, both in Kaduna. The center, designed and built by the British Geological Survey, has a robust IT infrastructure that has been used to scan and transform analog data sets over 100 years old into digital formats. This includes crucial data such as Nigerian records in the UK, geological bulletins, maps, historical records with their related metadata, and an updated inventory of national geoscience data holdings. The activities also significantly impacted the digital skills of the staff of the agencies by providing training in database administration, software usage, and maintenance. This training has enhanced the proficiency of the workforce in modern digital workflow management.
In those days, when we don't have the geodata center, sometimes when people retire, they take away their laptop, the information is lost. We have to start all over again. But now with the geodata center, all our information database are in digital format. And we ensure that we store them with different levels of security such that there is no way an information will be missing forever. There must always be somewhere that you can trace it to.
The Geodata Center, established by the MinDiver Project, was designed to provide investors with open access to extensive geological, geophysical, and geochemical information. This comprehensive data set includes recent and historical data, allowing investors to conduct in-depth research and assess Nigeria's mineral potential. By consolidating this valuable data on a single platform, the Geodata Center has removed a key barrier that had previously hindered investors' ability to evaluate mining prospects effectively. Furthermore, the Geodata Center is equipped with advanced software and hardware assets that facilitate the efficient management and dissemination of geoscience data. These robust data management tools ensure that information is accessible, organized, and up-to-date, which is essential for investors who seek to make confident, well-informed decisions. This centralized data hub is a valuable resource that can catalyze increased exploration, project development, and mining activities nationwide.
The mining sector is data-driven. And what this means is that availability of data is very, very important to the sector. So it's simple that we have a geodata center where you can access information as far back as 1919 or even before then, 1904 and 1904. So when we have the mineral surveys, that is 1902 and 1903 and 1904, when we had the mineral survey, we have all this information available. Of course, in mining, you need different layers of information, both the reports, geological map, geochemical maps, airborne data set, and so on. Geophysical data set are not, ground geophysics. Now, integrating this data set is one side, but having them in raw form for access to investor is one of the keywords, because most investors don't want processed data set. What they need is the raw data for them to process it by the Geodata Center provides a means for us to upload those information, which we have done for most of them, and also making them available to the investors.
National Geosciences Research Laboratories. Also, under the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency, the MinDiver Project is upgrading the National Geosciences Research Laboratories facilities in Kaduna to ensure that the center meets the accreditation standards set by the International Organization for Standardization, ISO. The ongoing activity will enable the laboratory to meet global testing and calibration proficiency standards. When completed, the activity will enhance the laboratory's credibility, increase customer trust, gain international recognition, and encourage the adoption of better operational practices. Additionally, the project supported the renovation and upgrading of the only national core shed to meet the requirements for storing, organizing, and safeguarding geological samples such as drill cores, borehole cuttings, and other relevant samples collected during exploration and mining operations. This will allow the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency to perform its role as the national repository for drilled cores.
The modernization and efficient operation of the core shed in Kaduna forms a central pillar in government effort to de-risk investments in mining. Investors will be provided with opportunities of carrying out due diligence on new cores over areas of interest. This is a relief on the huge capital expenditure demanded in new investments.
We have upgraded the mining cadastral system. Most of you will be hearing of the EMC Plus. EMC Plus is electronic mining cadastral system, whereby you can stay anywhere in your bedroom, you can apply. You don't need to know the minister, to know the DG. And it's a matter of its compressor. And one good thing about it is transparent.
Over 50 sets of high-tech survey, laboratory and mineral testing equipment have been procured and installed for the use of the agency. In addition, 2 geospatial mapping drones were acquired for the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency. Staff of the agency have been adequately trained to deploy the facilities for smart surveying and mapping. Drones offer several benefits for Geographic Information System (GIS) applications. They provide high-resolution imagery and data collection capabilities, which allows for speedy, accurate and detailed mapping and analysis. The drones are equipped with various sensors and multispectral cameras to gather different types of data for specialized GIS projects. Another critical data analytic equipment acquired by MinDiver for NGSA is the versatile state-of-the-art ICAP RQ-ICPM by Thermo Fisher Scientific. The device is a reliable tool for the analysis of a wide range of trace elements. It is a globally preferred device for analyzing rocks and sediments, and it is also essential for environmental pollution monitoring, food safety testing, pharmaceutical quality assurance, battery material analysis, and fuel composition and purity analysis.
It is named ICP. What is the name of ICP? This is inductive coupling plasma. So this is plasma, our plasma here. It's created by argon gas, okay, and RF generator. It will take the sample from here, okay, to the torch, okay, to measurement the heavy metals inside the samples. You can measure heavy metals, as I say, heavy metals. You can measure in monazite, in stocks, and also in foods, food safety. If you want to measure, for example, how many elements here, you can measure it in water, drink water, okay? So also wastewater, solid samples, okay? You can measure the heavy metals inside here.
Before now, all the samples that are taken for mineral exploration have to be shipped out of the country for analysis. So that is why the government now felt that it should have this kind of equipment in the country to arrest the huge capital flight from analysis as a result of lack of this equipment. So it's a very sensitive equipment, and it was purchased through the assistance of the World Bank that the ministry is supervising. So it's a good thing that we have this equipment, and we had the staff trained on this equipment in France and in the country.
Based on everything we've learned so far, I think we can confidently say that independently, each and every one of us here can independently man the machines, because individually we've been able to work on it. We've all worked across standard sample preparation, standard preparation, stock preparation, to running it on the system using both the manual method and then the auto sampler.
If you are going for geochemical exploration or mineral exploration, this is the kind of equipment you need, because you may not get what you are looking for. You can get an element that will give you a clue that what you are looking for is in this environment. Like if you are looking for gold, you may not see gold first, but you can see other pathfinder elements like arsenic, which this machine can detect and tell you that you can go ahead with your exploration, because you are likely going to see gold here, since you are seeing those pathfinder elements. So those ones might be in very trace amount, but this machine will be able to see, because it detects from very low concentration. So if you prepare your sample very well and you put it into this machine and you use the right conditions, be able to unravel so many things that before now we were not able to know. So it's an advantage to the sector, it's an advantage to the country, it's an advantage to the whole African continent. Because before now we used to send our samples to Canada, but we didn't have any of this machine within this region. So as we did this installation, yes, the people were calling from different parts of the country, congratulating us for having this equipment working in the country.
For sustainable operations, the MinDiver Project provided solar power systems across its various programs. Mining Cadastre Office. To align with international standards, the MinDiver project upgraded the country's mineral licensing platform from an analog system to a digital EMC Plus system. The new system comes with online application procedures, e-recording and archiving capabilities.
When the cadastre was established, we now migrated the system from the irregular polygons to a cadastral system. And at the end of the day, subsequently, we now computerized the system. We had to completely scan all our documents into one format to be able to now integrate it in the system. We are able to now have preliminary in terms of thematic and restricted maps. We are able to now look at in terms of georeferencing and topographic maps. These are projects that are integrated to ensure that we are not just migrating to an online. The system itself had a maintenance period.
We have upgraded the mining cadastral system. Most of you must be hearing of the EMC Plus. EMC Plus is electronic mining cadastral system, whereby you can stay anywhere in your bedroom, you can apply. You don't need to know the minister to know the DG. And it's a matter of person on person. And one good thing about it is transparent.
The platform was also integrated into the new offices established in the country's 6 geopolitical zones: Benin, Enugu, Ibadan, Jos, Kaduna, and Maiduguri. The new mining cadastre digital platform, which was commissioned in November 2022, has significantly improved the efficiency and effectiveness of the cadastre system. It has facilitated better information sharing and integration among regional officers, ensured compliance with laws and regulations, and provided customers with improved services.
It has equally had reasons to increase investors into the sector. And particularly, if you look at the level of compliance, is 100% online. And we had over 10,000 within the last 16 months from the unveiling, over 10,000 applications. And out of that 10,000, we had over 4,000 unassisted. So you can see that the adaptation is 40% in terms of compliance. So we look forward to making sure that it becomes high numbers. We don't mind 100%.
With the EMC Plus, there are a lot of information that you will have without even visiting the mining cadastral office. So that makes the tenement administration very, very easy for everyone to work with.
Additionally, the project has increased transparency and information sharing while reducing operational costs. Real-time data is now readily available as a result of this project.
The portal was open for people anywhere in the world. In a layman's point of view, one can say the online system, which is the EMC Plus, gave opportunities for anybody and everybody anywhere in the world at any point in time to literally have access to the mining cadastre and at the same time submit their applications online, have interactive sessions. So the system was interactive because it's an online system. You make your payments and whatever.
National Metallurgical Development Center. As part of the project's activities, 2 sets of high-resolution mineral identification laboratory equipment were procured and installed at the National Metallurgical Development Center in Jos. Laboratories and other essential buildings were also rehabilitated and modernized. These efforts have strengthened the center's research and testing capabilities, ultimately supporting the advancement of Nigeria's mining and metallurgical sectors.
What we requested for, almost all have been done through the assistance of MinDiver. And you have seen, as you have gone around, this place has a different look than what it was some years back. People coming from outside really appreciate the work done here. And I want to appreciate MinDiver. I want to appreciate the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development then, now Ministry of Steel and Solid Minerals. They played a very big role to see that we improve a lot.
MinDiver assistance and intervention, we have been able to have GTS-1 cut-off machine. We have been able to acquire PM6 machine, lapping machine. We have been able to acquire PM6 polishing machine. And we have a scanning electron microscope. With all this equipment, before now, we were analog. But with the intervention of MinDiver, we can now do this thing in an automated way. And our output is very efficient now. We bring out better results and on time.
Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences. The MinDiver Project implemented various initiatives at the Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences to bolster its capabilities and operations in Nigeria's mining sector. These initiatives included upgrading laboratory equipment to ISO standards for efficient geological sample testing, enhancing infrastructure to improve operational efficiency, conducting capacity building programs for staff development, and providing support for research and development activities. These projects were aimed to strengthen the agency's capacity, promote research and training, and contribute to the sustainable growth of the mining industry in Nigeria. Over 22 laboratories, mineral testing and processing equipment were procured and installed at the agency.
We were very lucky to have obtained this equipment. And apart from the equipment, MinDiver renovated some student-centered structures like our chemical analysis laboratory, mineral processing lab in our center in Mining Community Resource Center, and then the ICT Center.
National Steel Raw Materials Exploration Agency. The MinDiver Project implemented several initiatives at the National Steel Raw Materials Exploration Agency in Kaduna. These initiatives included procuring laboratory equipment and upgrading critical infrastructure to improve the functionality and efficiency of the agency's exploration and research activities. Over 15 sets of laboratory and mineral testing equipment were procured and are being installed at the agency. Also, the agency's office complex was extensively renovated.
The agency is grateful to MinDiver for the intervention, especially when it comes to rehabilitation and renovation of the exploration house, which house the headquarters of the agency. The exploration house has been in need of one or two repairs for quite some time. And when intervention came from MinDiver, it is a kind of total renovation. It is in total in the sense that they touch virtually all aspects of the building.
The project also took steps to support the development of Nigeria's steel industry. It conducted a baseline study to assess the potential for growth in upstream activities and the metal sector value chain. The study involved a detailed analysis of the current status of the steel-making value chain, identifying opportunities and challenges in utilizing locally available raw materials. Under this activity, the project developed operational guidelines and safety procedures for the steel industry. This guideline would enable the steel and metallurgical inspectorate departments to manage their operations efficiently. Also, a review of the iron assets of the National Iron Ore Mining Company in Itakpe was conducted. 4 mineral deposits were evaluated for their potential to supply raw materials to the Ajaokuta steel plant. Also, guidelines and strategies were proposed to develop iron ore deposits to support the sustainable growth of the steel industry in Nigeria.
I've had the privilege of interactions with MinDiver, and I see the level of efficiency with which they carry out their programs. I am also aware that efforts have been made in the direction of how they can help NIOMCO get better. In terms of enrichment, the presence of MinDiver has helped in refocusing the mining industry in Nigeria, iron ore being one of the 7 strategic minerals. It has also helped in aligning NIOMCO along that line.
Solid Minerals Development Fund. The project also conducted an activity on restructuring the Solid Minerals Development Fund to boost its role in stimulating investment in the mining sector. The activity clarified the administrative structure and legal framework for funding mechanisms to promote active investment in the mining sector.
We can't write our history without MinDiver, and I'm very proud of what MinDiver has done for the sector and for the country at large. We have 3 major funds. One is for growth, one is for exploration, greenfield exploration, and we also have one that is like a social investment inclined fund in terms of the environment and gender and all that.
The launch of a new SMDF with a clearer mandate, defined governance structure, investment strategies, and corporate direction has attracted long-term investments, further solidifying Nigeria's position as a key player in the mining industry.
So in real terms, projects are being impacted. We're supporting private sector projects that are sustainable. We're looking at doing agro minerals to support food security, and the BOI facility will be aimed at industrial minerals, where the AFC one is focused on metals, special precious metals, and energy transition minerals like lithium. So across the board, end to end, we're providing services for all the products that people are after in the sector.
Nigerian Mineral Resources Decision Support System, NMRDSS. As part of the efforts to transform the technological base of the Nigerian Mineral Information System for data storage and use, the MinDiver Project conducted an extensive review and upgrade of the Nigerian Mineral Resources Decision Support System, NMRDSS, based in the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development and Ministry of Steel Development to improve decision-making processes related to mineral resources in Nigeria. The activity focused on enhancing the geological map at a scale of 1 to 2 meters and improving the mineral occurrence database within the system. The ministry's workforce was trained on site and overseas on using the enhanced platform to access and enter geoscientific data effectively. The project focused on integrating the Nigerian Mineral Resources Decision Support System into the daily operations of mining agencies to enhance decision-making processes. It also provides a platform for engaging with the national and international mining community, allowing stakeholders to provide feedback for improving the NMRDSS front end, aligning it with industrial standards and enhancing its usability and effectiveness.
One of the key things is, let's say, as a summary of what this platform does, is brings all the departments together in a way that they can bring all this data together, connect the data, and from there build, let's say, models for the investors to be able to make decisions over that. Another component of the system that we have built is the DSS, Decision Support System, which is a platform that is available already online, that they can, through just a click or let's say typing in the URL, they can access all this data. They visualize the data and they start making their own conclusions from, let's say, geophysical data, geochemical data, mineral occurrences, and they start identifying areas that they would like to jump in.
The MinDiver Project upgraded the Nigerian Mineral Resources Decision Support System to integrate and analyze data from multiple sources, providing comprehensive information on mineral resources. The integration of data has increased transparency and facilitated well-informed decision-making for investors interested in opportunities within the Nigerian mining sector. The activity has also enhanced the management and distribution of geoscientific data in the Nigerian mining sector. This system is located in the Secure Data Center of the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development and is managed by qualified IT staff. The platform's web front end is now accessible to the public. It provides an application for analyzing mineral occurrence data alongside spatial information. This state-of-the-art platform ranks among the top systems in Africa.
It's a support system for investors. It is to support you, to encourage you, to draw you nearer to this sector, and to enable us also fulfill part of our mandate of ensuring that this sector is widely opened up for enterprising investors. We're not only stopping there, we're also putting together some financing mechanisms for the local operators who may be incapacitated by paucity of funds or lack of adequate financial capacity. Through our SMDF, the Solid Minerals Development Fund, and the Executive Secretary is here. She's been partnering with the African Finance Corporation to open up the sector and to provide the succor that is needed in terms of financial capacity for our investors locally.
A very, very beautiful decision support system for them, where you have integration of demographic information, social information, marry this with cadastral information and geological information, and then you are able to play around with it. So within the comfort of your room, you can decide, look, I want information about this. What are the information? Do we have power lines there? Do we have water system there? That is water pipes there, and is there any forest there? With that, you can sit down and say, okay, I want some titles within this area. By the time you marry it with geological information and mineral database, you can know the rock types that you have there and the mineral types that you have in such area. And this is available to everybody around the world. You can access it directly either through our website or through the ministry website.
Artisanal and small-scale mining, ASM. MinDiver has made remarkable progress in acquiring state-of-the-art monitoring equipment and infrastructure to support the formalization of artisanal mining and utilize remote sensing technology. These efforts were directed at integrating artisanal miners into cooperatives and mineral enterprises. The remote sensing system, which was established at the headquarters of the Ministry of Steel Development, collects real-time data on artisanal mining sites. This system has improved the understanding of ASM activities and facilitated their formalization. Using remote sensing technology, the ministry now acquires valuable data on mining operations, enabling better governance and improving the capacity for mining site surveillance. Over 30 mining sites are currently under observation, and ground truthing has been done in 8 states to validate the data and ensure its accuracy and reliability. Over 1,500 ASM cooperatives have been registered. Mines environmental compliance. The MinDiver Project has played a crucial role in improving environmental management and regulatory compliance in the mining sector. This was achieved by supporting the ministry's Mines Environmental Compliance Department in reviewing the current legal and regulatory frameworks governing environmental management in mining to align them with international standards, particularly World Bank safeguards policies. Capacity building training programs were conducted for 162 staff members of the ministry and stakeholders involved in environmental management in the Nigerian mining sector. In addition, MinDiver introduced the groundbreaking environmental and social information management system. This system is a comprehensive repository that collects and organizes critical data from key mining areas and is linked with the decision support system. The platform ensures that environmental and social factors are integrated into decision making. Manpower development. MinDiver Project focused on building capacity and enhancing proficiency in mining institutions. Training programs were organized for staff across departments and agencies of the ministry to improve their skills and knowledge base and equip them with expertise to drive the mining sector forward. Over 300 employees of the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development and the Ministry of Steel Development benefited from the MinDiver Manpower Development Program, which offered training in project management, change management, monitoring and evaluation, and information technology.
The MinDiver project placed great emphasis on capacity building, as it was identified as a critical area of need in the roadmap. For the sector to progress, it is essential to have well-trained and efficient personnel. This became even more crucial because MinDiver introduced innovative technology into the services of the institutions across the sector.
Women in mining. The project upgraded the MinDiver grievances redress mechanism to align with sector needs, conducted a gender impact assessment, and endorsed a gender strategy to empower women affected by mining impacts. Women in mining in Nigeria received support for women's development advocacy, and citizen engagement and social accountability mechanisms were implemented in both the MinDiver project and the mining sector. Gemstone and jewelry industry. The MinDiver project successfully executed a comprehensive 5-year plan for the sustainable growth of Nigeria's gemstone and jewelry industry. The program had the noble objective of promoting the jewelry industry in Nigeria by tapping into the country's natural resources and training skilled jewelry artisans in all states of the Federation. This laudable goal was achieved with the assistance of a team of renowned international and local experts.
The jewelry program, which we have gone through or undergone, is a master training type. And the meaning is that you will go back to your respective states to train people who are the indigenous of your state to be able to get the same skill you have acquired and to be able to multiply in the profession.
Gemstones and jewelry is an art, and it will continue to grow like in other countries. And we have a lot of youth, highly talented youth, that can easily improve on their skills and compete with global jewelry. We have a big advantage, but there's still a lot of work to be done on jewelry making. Because I keep emphasizing, jewelry making is not gold and gemstones alone. Wood. You can use wood to make jewelry. You can use bottles. The Yorubas were known for their glass beads several hundred years ago. So we want to revive all this culture. And I have no doubt that in a few years' time, jewelry making, Nigeria should be exporting a lot of jewelry.
Also, as part of its investment program, MinDiver supported the establishment of a jewelry and gemstone training center in Abuja to offer training in jewelry making and design. This initiative was aimed at increasing the value-added process within the mining industry. So far, the center has successfully graduated over 96 students, each receiving starter packs to kickstart their businesses. The top 47 graduates further received advanced training in jewelry making.
We have been trained on how to meet international standard through the MinDiver training, from the master training to the advanced training.
The idea of the program is to train dwellers so we can go back to our various states and train other people.
Since I did my training with MinDiver, my skill set has improved greatly. MinDiver has also helped me to increase my source of income.
There are things you have that you never know you have until people like MinDiver come into your life and begin to develop certain giftings in you. And that, I'm a beneficiary to that. I really appreciate MinDiver. Thank you, World Bank. I am a reason why you shouldn't give up on programs like this.
Global Investment Promotion. The MinDiver Project has greatly enhanced global investment promotion through extensive data acquisition, storage, and dissemination programs. These activities have provided valuable information about Nigeria's extensive mineral resource potential, aiming to attract global investment. As a result, the Nigerian delegation has successfully generated global interest in the country's resources. Notable global mining events include the Africa Mining Endeavour in Cape Town, South Africa, the Future Minerals Forum in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, Mines and Money, London, Africa Down Under in Perth, Australia, PDAC in Toronto, Canada.
Urban geophysics is a very good methodology when you want to get very good geophysical data from larger territories, and we are talking about more than 200,000 square kilometers. So we are using our methodology to cover all that area and to provide some good geophysical data, high resolution data for the country, because that data is a key element to attract investments to the country. So in that sense, Nigeria is developing several working lines, streamlines with the World Bank, and one of them is our project.
Mineral Economic Corridor. Furthermore, MinDiver also developed a roadmap for implementing a mineral economic corridor along the Central Economic Corridor, which extends from Warri to Kano through Ajaokuta and Abuja. The roadmap recommends aligning policies, reviewing legislation, and establishing a supportive legal framework to encourage private sector investment, bridge infrastructure gaps, and promote sustainable economic growth along the Central Economic Corridor.
To maintain the interest of global investors in Nigeria's mining sector, we have to continue to ensure that all the data that have been acquired on this project, geological data, geophysical data, topographical data, are easily available and accessible across all the newly set up technology platforms to investors. I think the moment we have more investors accessing all our data that has been procured as part of this project, and the moment that investors globally begin to see the ability to convert that data into real value, I think we can sustain investor interest.
Solid Minerals Development Fund. The project also offered consultancy for restructuring the Solid Minerals Development Fund to encourage investment in the mining sector. This involved restructuring the administrative and legal framework related to funding mechanisms to encourage more investment in mining. The restructuring of the agency with a clear mandate, enhanced governance structure and investment strategies has successfully attracted significant long-term investments. As a result, Nigeria's position as a key player in the mining industry has been strengthened.
The mining landscape offers tremendous potential and opportunities for diversification of the Nigerian economy, especially regional development. And I say that at the risk of someone saying which region. All the regions in Nigeria are blessed with one mineral or the other. And off the top of my head, I can reel them out, but for time, every region of Nigeria has something of value that we've measured to a general extent, and we can measure even better and plan how to add value and create jobs for that particular mineral. It has shared prosperity for regions, and infrastructure that you build for mineral projects you can use for agriculture and other things as well. So you build a road to a mine, you build a railroad, you can use it for other things, unlike the oil pipelines that you must use only for oil. So it also brings in the opportunity to teach our young people skills on the field beyond paper qualifications. The more projects that come on board, the more opportunities for engineers and mining engineers, geologists that perhaps have not had the chance to learn on the field.
Artisanal and small-scale mining, ASM activities. To regulate artisanal and small-scale mining while promoting sustainable mining practices, MinDiver has implemented a remote sensing system at the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development to monitor field activities. This system not only aids in monitoring ASM activities, but also helps formalize artisanal mining in the country and encourages investments at all levels of mining practices. The project developed strategies to finance artisanal and small-scale mining operators and promote the growth of Nigeria's mineral exploration sector by supporting the development of a junior mining sector and attracting investment in exploration and mining activities. Ladikwali Pottery Center. Another initiative of the MinDiver project is the restoration of the Ladikwali Pottery Center in collaboration with the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development and the Niger State government. This initiative was part of a broader strategy to promote downstream development in the mineral sector by utilizing kaolin and feldspar mineral deposits, among others, to rejuvenate the pottery and ceramics cottage industries. A trust was established to oversee the transformation of the Ladikwali Pottery Center into a cultural monument. The primary goal of the trust is to manage the center and preserve the specialized traditional pottery skills and designs practiced by local artisans, ensuring that this cultural heritage remains intact and does not fade into obscurity.
Well, the initial concept of Ladikwali was to revive pottery making in Nigeria. Of course, both jewelry making and pottery making, they are very, very low-hanging fruits. And they are very important in creating jobs in the country. And they are not difficult. You don't need all the education to make pots. In our homes, in our villages, they still make pots. And all Ladikwali did was start to inscribe animals in her acts. So these are opportunities that are just waiting to be plucked. And I do hope that this government, with the way it is going, looking at creating jobs for the youth, will also take up that activity immediately, because the infrastructure has been laid. It just remains on how to organize the place, the governance structure, and how to commence teaching the youth.
The MinDiver project has been very, very beneficial to us, not just in the solid mineral sector, but also Nigeria. It has contributed meaningfully into the economy of Nigeria. So I thank the World Bank, I thank the organizers and the brains behind the MinDiver project.
Mining Investment Facilitation Program. The MinDiver Project implemented a specialized mining investment facilitation program to advance the mining industry and promote economic diversification. This program involved collecting, evaluating, and organizing the country's geoscientific data to create mineral prospectivity maps, essential for identifying potential exploration sites and attracting potential investors. The program evaluated critical minerals including manganese, nickel, chromium, gold, platinum group elements, copper, tantalum, niobium, lithium, and uranium. The mineral prospectivity map revealed significant findings with the potential to shape the future of the country's mining sector.
We decided to create or contribute our own quota to the ease of doing business in the solid mineral sector by ensuring that anywhere you are on the globe, with a click of a button, you can access all the information that you require to make an informed decision or informed investment judgment in the sector. And that is what we are doing, launching here today. The Nigeria Minerals Resources Decision Support System is here to enable you, the critical stakeholders, and all potential investors access to the necessary information that you require. It also brings you closer to the industry and to the sector.
Exploring the potential of lithium rare metals. The MinDiver Project also conducted a comprehensive activity to explore the potential of lithium, rare metals, rare earth metals, and associated precious and semi-precious stones and metals. The main objectives were to identify valuable minerals within pegmatite formations, estimate potential mineral resources, generate exploration targets, and attract investment. The activity revealed significant potential for lithium mineralization and presence of rare metals, rare earth metals, and associated precious and semi-precious stones.
At the end of the day, we had a production of about a 750-page report, all covering almost about 500 pegmatite veins all over the country, analyzing them, characterizing them, and delineating areas where we have those potentials. And it has provided an enormous database for the rare metal potentials, tantalum, niobium, tin, characterizations within the pegmatite belts of Nigeria, which is our main advantage. I would call it competitive advantage when we're talking about these green minerals. And also delineating areas where you have the lithium in the central parts of Nigeria, Nasarawa, Kefi, axis, southern parts of Nigeria in the southwest, and also even the south around the Ogudu, Nkom towards the Calabar, axis, and then even in the northwest towards Kebbi, Zuru belts, and even the central parts. The northern central parts, even around the Federal Capital Territory, moving up to the fringes of the plateau, and then even Bauchi, Gombe, fringes. So these pegmatites were mapped all over the country, streamlined, regionalized, compartmentalized, and also given the kind of defined trends, and analyzing many of these veins. I think about 500 pegmatite veins. It's a very huge, project which was funded by the MinDiver.
Capacity building and training. The MinDiver Project's capacity building initiatives have contributed to transforming Nigeria's mining sector, making it more attractive for investment. By training approximately 600 government officials from the ministries and their agencies within and outside the country, the MinDiver Project has contributed to enhancing regulatory efficiency, improving governance, and modernizing practices. This effort has enabled the sector to develop a skill set that aligns with global standards supporting sustainable growth and increasing both foreign and domestic investments in the sector. Industrial Minerals Development Roadmap. The project also initiated programs to develop industrial minerals in the country. The minerals identified in the activity included barite, kaolin, gypsum, feldspar, limestone, granite, gravel, laterite, sand, and dimension stones. An industrial mineral development roadmap was launched for the purpose of promoting investments in the downstream sector. The Industrial Minerals Roadmap of Nigeria was designed to develop a comprehensive database of Nigeria's industrial mineral resources, promote sustainable exploitation of industrial minerals, and strengthen the regulatory framework and institutional capacity. Under this activity, the project provided support for the launch of the Nigeria Barite by the federal government in October 2021. The MinDiver Project has transformed Nigeria's mining sector through strategic collaboration with stakeholders, accelerating geodata acquisition and management, upgrading laboratories to international standards, investing in critical equipment and infrastructure, and prioritizing environmental management and responsible mining practices. The project has also fostered skill enhancement, innovation, and the promotion of foreign and domestic investment in the sector. Its extensive activities have significantly increased the sector's capacity and attracted investments that have positioned Nigeria as a significant player in the global mining industry.